Yesterday, I got a wonderful comment on my previous video. The comment was all about the importance of that user's creativity. And in this video, let's unpack why it's important about your creative journey. Okay, I'm Riley, and for 15 plus years, I've been helping creative people connect back to their passions and keep what's important at the center of their lives. I used to work at Apple for about 10 years, and there I worked with the most amazing people and have continued to nurture and help creatives in the workspaces that I've been in to stay connected to what's important. That's part of what I do and what I offer. You can find out details in the description below. When I read this comment this morning when I woke up, I was like, this is exactly the journey that as creatives we go to when we're disconnected from our creativity, when we're feeling frustrated, we're feeling that we're not getting the time and the energy to be able to put the energy and effort into our creative practices, that this is the exact place that this user describes is where we're trying to get to. So in unpacking this comment, I think it's going to help us all to figure out what's missing from where I am and where it is that I want to get to. So I think it's just helpful to frame that from where we are to where we want to go. Okay, so first off, thanks so much to JC's Rest for this beautiful comment. I'm going to read it to you. I have finally realized the importance of my creativity. Without expressing it in some form, I become depressed. My career was about using creativity, and when I retired, I had to refocus on my true creative love. Thank God I have time and I prioritize time to create. It is essential to who I am and needs to come out. It's how life makes sense to me. It's my joy and my purpose. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on this. No, JC's Rest, thank you for sharing that amazing comment. And I think there's a lot of wisdom there from somebody who's journeyed through life and has gotten to retirement age and has rekindled their passion around their true creative love. Now, thankfully for them, they said that their creativity, they were able to use that in their career. A lot of people that I work with maybe start in some way kind of being creative, but as they go through the growth in the companies they're in or in the roles they're in, they tend to get to more and more senior positions, and that tends to mean less and less connecting to the creative work and more people leadership or project management, and getting away from the day in and day out of being creative in their roles. And that causes a sense of frustration. Also, as we go on in our lives, we get more and more external things that we need to be responsible for. So we've got kids, dogs, a house, a mortgage, all these other things that take time and energy and effort away from our creativity. So when I saw this comment, I just thought it was such great, focused little nugget, a gem of wisdom. One thing that they say, they start off by saying, I realize the importance of my creativity. I think that's foundational to understanding that there's something in you, something deeply connected to your values, to your nature, to how you're made, how you're put together, that we need to line up first of all. And that's like the first step. We have to understand that there's something there. And chances are, like, if you're a little further on in life and you're not just a teenager, that you've gotten to a point where you're going, oh, I love whatever your creative outlet is. Photography, music, videography, art, drawing, writing, whatever that is, it's deeply embedded in you, and you would love to spend all your time at it. And you probably fantasize about going, oh, I'd love to have 3 months sabbatical to go and sit on the beach and do my thing, or when I retire, I'll get to this. And clearly, like, this user is saying that they did get to be creative through their lives, and now that they've retired, they're making that space. But I want to encourage you and challenge you, don't wait. Don't allow yourself to get run down and to get, like, to quote their words, depressed. Don't get down about it. Make time for it, make space for it in your day and in your week, and make something that's important and useful to you. So around that idea of depression, like, I am not clinically qualified in any way to talk about it or share kind of remedies or diagnose it, But I can share my experience. And my experience is probably about 10, no, closer to 15 years ago, I really started to struggle with the fact that I was getting disconnected from my creativity. And for all those reasons, I was kind of going up in the corporate world and getting more and more kind of leadership responsibility. We just had kids and it was taking up time and energy and effort, and in a beautiful way, pouring it into our family. Like, what better way could, I spend my time? But what I started to miss over time was being connected back to the things that sparked my joy around creativity. And it took me a long time to diagnose it. And there was definitely points where my wife turned to me and said, I think you're depressed, because I was withdrawing from social circles, from friends. I was seeking comfort in eating, in like working really hard. And my go-to has always been alcohol as well. So like there was definitely points when I was like over-indexing on all of those. And it certainly got me to a point where I needed to reassess and to figure out what was going on with my life and to focus. And I think that what this user says, when I retired, I had to refocus on my true creative love. So clearly they did something at work and then they were focusing on like that thing that it really meant a lot to them. And in hearing my story and in hearing what they've said, I just want to encourage you to, before it becomes drastic, to try and carve out some space for your creative love, whatever it is. But also to find energy and effort to look after all the other things, because like there's the body, mind and spirit, like there's all of us that's connected together, and if it's all out of whack, it's really hard to be creative. And just to kind of move on, like they say, hey, thank God I have time and I can prioritize time to create. And I think that's exactly it. Like you need to prioritize it. You need to figure out, how do I create time? And if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that the first thing that I'm going to say is, how much screen time do you currently have? How many videos do you watch a day on YouTube? How many seasons are you kind of binging through on Netflix or Disney Plus? And just to think about where there is space and time in your week. I know you need energy to do that. We need to recover and recuperate when we come back from stressful days. But I promise you that you'll get so much more when you're engaged and connected to your creativity. And I love what they say next. It's essential to who I am and it needs to come out. I can 100% agree. Just from my own perspective, at the moment, I'm loving creating these videos. Not just because I get to engage my creativity about writing, editing, lighting, but because my purpose and the purpose that I see is helping you to get connected to your creativity. And whether that's just through this video or whether we ever got to work together like one-on-one or in a group scenario, like that's a joy. Like in my head, I'm going, I would love to help 1 million creatives, and that might just be views. It might be in group sessions. It might be, maybe I'll write a book, but me expressing my creativity is also around helping you express yours. I get such amazing chills when people send me their work after we've worked together. Like send me a copy of a track they've worked on, or like tag me on Instagram. It's just amazing. So I get a real joy out of this. And I can assure you, when you're connected to it, it's going to start sparking new things, new ideas, new ways to express yourself and to communicate, to engage in your community. It's not just about you putting your creativity out there, but it's also about something deeper, something really important. And I think that speaks to like that next piece. They say, it's how life makes sense to me. It's my joy and my purpose. And all of that is wrapped up. And when we're connected as humans to our joy and our purpose, it shows up in so many other ways. Like, I know that I show up as a better father, husband, friend, when I'm feeling creative, when I'm feeling connected, I'm not burdened, I'm not feeling down, I'm not upset, or easily triggered by things, because I'm getting the time that I need to be creative and be connected to that. And it's so important. And I encourage you to try and find that space, that time, that energy. Claw it back from somewhere. And hopefully the video at the end of the week, I'm going to put up another video about actually creating space. And I'll have some resources to share with you then on how to get that time back, how to figure it out. So don't worry, there's more coming on that one. And also watch some other videos too. But I just really want to say a deep thank you to this user, JCS You made my day, but you also inspired something new. And I hope that in the comments and in the community that's forming here on YouTube around all of this creativity, that you'll be able to connect and engage with that. And just see that right now, in this world of uncertainty, like, creativity is so important. And also we get to lead through creativity, and our localities, the corporations we work in, even internationally, we need so many solutions to problems that are around us. And I think that creativity is the way for those to come about. So this is not just about you connecting to your purpose, but it's about you putting things out into the world that offer joy and inspiration and challenge people's thinkings, So, again, huge thanks to JCRest for their words of wisdom. And thanks for watching the previous video and commenting it. And thank you for listening to this. And thank you for any moments of time that you're going to get to pour into your creativity. Okay, so watch this video if you've made it this far. This next video will be YouTube suggesting what's the best video for you to watch. And if not, there'll be more videos later on in the week. Okay, take care. Bye.